Imagine waking up one day and feeling like you no longer have the strength to support your own body, that your legs are trembling, your arms feel heavy, and every simple movement becomes an exhausting effort. Now imagine that this muscle fatigue is not due to age, but to a silent habit that you repeat every day without knowing that it is slowly weakening your muscles. Most alarmingly, this muscle wear and tear could be happening right now as you watch this video without pain, without clear signs, until one day it's too late. The cause? A common habit that seems harmless, even necessary, but is actually accelerating a condition known as sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength that affects millions of older adults worldwide. Today, I will show you the 10 worst habits that destroy your muscles over time, in descending order, leading up to the most damaging of all. And let me tell you, number 1 will shock you because it's something you probably do every day, thinking it's the right thing. Stay until the end, because knowing this information can make the difference between having an active and vital old age or spending your later years unable to move freely, depending on others for the most basic tasks. Let's begin. What is sarcopenia, and why should you be concerned? Before revealing the worst habit that destroys your muscles, you need to understand this. Sarcopenia is not just a consequence of aging. It is a disease recognized by the World Health Organization, characterized by the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength. And no, it doesn't start at 80. It can begin as early as 40 if you don't take measures. According to a study published in The Lancet Public Health, more than 30% of adults over 60 already show signs of sarcopenia, and many don't know it. Here comes the first key question you need to ask yourself. What are you doing every day that, without realizing it, could be silently weakening your muscles? Today, we're going to find out. Habit number 10, spending hours sitting without interruptions. Sitting for many hours a day may seem harmless, but it is one of the habits that most weakens the muscles over time, silently and painlessly. Studies from the journals of gerontology have shown that sitting for more than 8 hours a day without breaks accelerates muscle mass loss in older adults. It affects balance and increases the risk of falls, even with daily exercise. Excessive sitting time contributes to sarcopenia because the body interprets the lack of movement as a signal that muscles are no longer needed and begins to degrade them, especially in the legs and lower back. What to do? If you spend many hours sitting, you don't need demanding routines. Simply getting up every 40 minutes to stretch or walk for 1 to 2 minutes can make a big difference. Constant small movements are key. Habit number 9, sleeping poorly or less than 6 hours per night. Sleep is crucial for muscle health, but it is often overlooked. Sleeping poorly is like not feeding your muscles during sleep. The body not only rests, but also repairs tissues, regulates hormones, and rebuilds muscle fibers. If you consistently sleep less than 6 hours per night, this process is disrupted. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that lack of sleep reduces the production of growth hormone, vital for muscle maintenance in older adults. Without enough rest, the body begins to lose muscle mass, even if you have good nutrition and exercise. Fatigue also reduces your energy to move and exercise, generating more muscle pain due to lack of recovery. Can you improve muscle health just by improving your sleep? The answer is yes, but there is a key detail that I will share with you in a moment. If you want to take care of your muscles starting tonight, follow these tips. Sleep between 7 and 8 hours whenever possible. Avoid screens and bright lights at least an hour before bed. Establish a calming routine before bed, such as a warm bath or light reading. And if you wake up several times at night, check your diet, as it may be related to this problem. Habit number 8, not consuming enough quality protein. One of the most common and dangerous mistakes in the diet of older adults is not consuming enough quality protein. As we age, the body needs more protein, not less. However, many people reduce their consumption of meat, eggs, legumes, or dairy due to digestive problems, incorrect recommendations, or habits. The result of this protein deficiency is that muscles do not receive the necessary building blocks to repair and maintain themselves, accelerating muscle loss. It's like building a house without bricks. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that older adults need between 1.2 and 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day to preserve muscle mass. For example, someone weighing 65 kilograms should consume at least 78 grams of protein daily, but many people barely reach half of this amount. Habit number 7. Overusing anti-inflammatory and painkiller medications. When muscle or joint pain appears, the quickest solution is often a pill: ibuprofen, diclofenac, naproxen, or paracetamol. These drugs are readily available, sold over the counter, and consumed like candy. But what few people know is that their excessive use can accelerate sarcopenia and weaken your muscles silently. Studies like the one published in the Journal of Applied Physiology have shown that prolonged use of anti-inflammatories inhibits certain natural responses of the body necessary for muscle growth and repair. By blocking inflammation, which in small doses is part of the regeneration process, they also block the body's ability to adapt, heal, and strengthen. Habit number 6. Consuming muscle-destroying foods. You might be eating something every day that seems harmless, but is actually damaging your muscles silently. Nutrition plays a key role in muscle health, especially in older adults. What many don't know is that certain foods not only do not nourish, but directly sabotage muscle regeneration and strength. The quality of the diet directly influences the risk of sarcopenia, and if you frequently consume the foods I will mention next, you could be accelerating this process without realizing it. Here are the 10 worst foods that you should avoid if you want to keep your muscles strong after 50. Sugary drinks promote inflammation and fat in muscles. Processed meats damage muscle tissue and favor metabolic diseases. White bread and refined flours elevate insulin, weakening muscles. Fast food and fried foods cause chronic inflammation that affects muscle synthesis. Ultra-processed snacks alter muscle metabolism. Industrial sweets and desserts contribute to insulin resistance, accelerating muscle loss. Excessive alcohol interferes with nutrient absorption and hormone production. Energy drinks and artificial caffeine affect muscle recovery. Light products with artificial sweeteners alter intestinal microbiota and amino acid absorption. Canned soups and foods with excess sodium dehydrate muscles and weaken cellular function. Habit number 5. Avoiding any type of strength exercise. As we age, many avoid strength exercise, believing it is unnecessary or too demanding. However, this is one of the biggest mistakes. Strength exercise, such as weightlifting or using resistance bands, is essential for maintaining and strengthening muscles as we age. The body loses between 3% and 8% of muscle mass each decade after the age of 30. Strength exercise is the only way to prevent or reverse this loss. If we do not exercise our muscles, muscle atrophy accelerates, increasing the risk of falls and injuries. A study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that with just 30 minutes of strength exercise twice a week, older adults can improve muscle mass, bone density, prevent sarcopenia, reduce joint pain, improve balance, and reduce fatigue. Habit number 4. Not hydrating properly. It's easy to think that all your body needs is food and exercise, but there's an essential element that is often overlooked: water. Hydration is key to the proper functioning of your muscles. Think of your muscles as an engine. They need not only fuel, but also lubrication to function efficiently. And that lubricant is water. When you don't drink enough water, your muscles lose flexibility and recovery capacity, which can cause cramps, muscle pain, and stiffness. Insufficient hydration also affects blood circulation, delaying the delivery of nutrients to the muscles, leaving them weaker and more prone to pain. The recommendation is to drink between 1.5 and 2 liters of water per day, depending on your physical activity and overall health. Habit number 3, consuming refined sugar daily. The excessive consumption of refined sugar is a habit that silently destroys muscles. Although we all know that too much sugar is not good, few are aware of its true impact on muscle mass. When you consume sugar, as found in sodas, cakes, or white bread, it causes an insulin spike that not only affects your glucose levels but also interrupts muscle repair and promotes chronic inflammation. Over time, this inflammation weakens both muscles and bones, accelerating sarcopenia. Studies have shown that sugar reduces muscle protein synthesis, meaning that even if you exercise, your muscles do not regenerate adequately. Habit number 2, skipping breakfast, or worse, only having coffee with bread. Have you ever wondered what happens when you skip breakfast or choose a low-nutrition option like just coffee with bread? Although it seems like a harmless habit, this eating pattern can have devastating effects, especially on your muscles. When you don't have breakfast, or when your first meal of the day is full of simple carbohydrates and almost no nutrients, you directly affect your metabolism and your muscle recovery capacity. During the night, your body enters a state of rest, and your muscles are not receiving nutrients. Breakfast is the first step to restore energy reserves and activate the metabolic processes that help muscle repair and growth. But if you decide not to have breakfast, your body enters energy-saving mode, meaning that without the proper nutrients, your muscles do not have what they need to stay strong and begin to lose muscle mass over time. Habit number 1, spending hours in front of the TV or phone without moving after eating. Spending time in front of the TV or phone after eating is a common habit, especially after heavy meals. Although it seems relaxing, this behavior has negative effects on your muscles and overall health. When you remain inactive after eating, you interrupt important metabolic processes. Blood circulation decreases, and digestion becomes slower. Prolonged inactivity also affects muscles, which lose tone and strength without the proper stimulus. It contributes to increased body fat, as you are not using energy to aid digestion and burn calories. This habit can worsen sarcopenia and cause stiffness or muscle pain, common in older adults after long periods of inactivity. To counteract this, it is important to move after eating. You don't need intense exercise. A short walk or light stretches can activate circulation, improve digestion, and prevent muscle loss. And there you have it. Now you know the 10 worst habits that could be affecting your muscle health and accelerating sarcopenia. We've talked about how small changes in your daily routines can strengthen your muscles, prevent pain, and improve your overall well-being. But as we've seen, the change starts with what you decide to do or not do every day. Remember, your muscle health is not something you can take for granted. The sooner you become aware of these habits and make adjustments, the easier it will be to keep your muscles strong and healthy as you age. Now, I ask you this question: which of these habits have you been practicing without realizing it was affecting your muscles? What habit are you willing to change to improve your muscle health? Share your thoughts below, and let's exchange ideas.